Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I'm making chuck roast. And I wanted to start off by showing you, here's the roast I have. This is a 5-pound roast, and I got all my seasonings, some potatoes, carrots, green onions and celery, olive oil, onions, garlic, all the goodies. Okay, so let's get started. I took the roast out about an hour before you're going to start cooking it. That way it takes the chill off of it. And I'm going to show you, we'll start with how to cut a garlic clove and peel it. So there's the sides. You want to pop it on the side, and that should open it right up and take this peel right off for you. And it can't be any simpler than that. And then what I do is, you guys know, I keep mine in the fridge in some olive oil. So that makes it easier, and you don't have to cut it every time, and it stays in the fridge just fine. So I'm going to start with some carrots. I washed really well. I'm not even going to peel them. You don't have to. I'm just going to trim the tops off here. Don't even really have to do that, but got to do the bottoms. They're rolling all over. And when you're making a roast, oh, maybe Justice will get that one. When you're making a roast, you want to use as much aromatics as you can. Like I got all the celery, even the little inside pieces, onions, because you want it to be flavorful. And I'm just going to cut my carrots up into big pieces because they're going to be in there for a long time cooking. 3-4 hours, depending on how long the roast cooks. But the roast is going to go in a 350 oven that I already have set. So let's put those over there. And let's do our green onions. We're just going to do the green onions kind of in big pieces. Cut the bottoms off. Usually I cut it in half and I trim the tops. And of course, wash all this well first. And we're just going to make big pieces like that. And then these I'll cut up in just a little bit smaller pieces. And you can do all this in advance. You can do this the day before, a couple hours before. These I'm just going to leave in big pieces because those are all good for flavor. And then the celery, I got about 3 stalks. Just going to trim a piece off the top. Trim the bottom and wash your vegetables all really good, really well. Celery is one that definitely needs to be cleaned really well. And I'm just going to cut these into big chunks too. And split them down. And this is where all the flavor comes from. You can't just stick a roast in the oven and put some salt and pepper on it and think it's going to come out tasting good. And cut these up in about a little bit bigger than bite-sized pieces because they shrink down. And I like to see and taste all my vegetables. I know some people make them so small and they just put them in there for the flavor, but I like to see it all. And then I have a red onion. And I'm using my tripod today because I'm not comfortable with it as of yet, but I'm getting there because I hope my arm's not coming over across the screen in your face. But I'm trying to get better at it. Just cut these up in big pieces like that. And then I'm going to do a big white onion too, or you could just do both white or both red. It doesn't matter. I just have both and I like both, so I put both. And for the seasoning, I'm just going to be using salt and pepper, oregano, garlic, powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, I think I said that, and oregano and parsley, I don't know. But put the seasonings you usually like to put. Oops. That you usually add to your dishes. And then I just got a few red potatoes. And I'm just going to cut them up. Leave the skins right on. Cut them in half. Cut them in half again. And then quarter them. And if they're going to be in there for 3 or 4 hours, you got to leave them kind of big like that so that they can, so they don't turn to mush. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to bring you over to the stove because we're going to sear our roast in the pan first before we put it in the oven, and that'll bring more flavor too. Okay. Alright guys, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, we're back. Let's season up the roast. Okay, I guess that looks good. Okay, so I just put it here on this plate and we're just going to add, this is a big roast, so a lot of salt, black pepper, parsley, I love parsley, you know that, and salt and pepper, those are my favorite. Garlic powder. Put a lot on there because this is a big, thick roast. We're in low. And then onion powder. And onion powder and onions, they help tenderize meat. That's why we all cook with onions. And then we're going to flip it. Look at that beautiful roast. Lots of pepper. Remember, this is 5 pounds of meat, so it needs a lot of seasoning. And then we're going to season it when it gets in the pan too, the veggies and stuff. So a lot of salt. And some of it's falling off, so don't be afraid to put a lot. And that's our onion powder and our garlic powder. And I forgot the parsley, or did I put the parsley? Anyway, put more. I love parsley. You can never have too much parsley. Then I'm just going to take, I keep my flour in a big container in the pantry, but I keep this little one out here, call it my bench flour, so it's for cooking or for, you know, when you're doing pastries and doughs and stuff. So that way I don't have to bring out the big flour just for little small recipes like that. So now we're just going to put that flour, put it on there. You don't want a lot. You just, it helps make like a little gravy and juice, and get it all over the sides. And pat it in. And that's why I say you're going to lose some of the spices anyway, so go ahead and put a lot. And then I'm going to put a lot of my garlic on there. That's got the garlic and the, it's got a little oil in there. Okay, and I think my doggy Justice is smelling how good this smells. Okay, now we're going to go down to the stove, and I'll be right back in a flash. Okay guys, we're back, and now we're gonna I got my heat, my roaster right on the stove, and I got the heat up on pretty high, and I'm just gonna add some olive oil, and that thing is sizzling. And then we're gonna grab our roast, and we're gonna put that baby in there, and you should hear a big sizzle. There we go. I had to turn it down a little bit because I wasn't ready with the camera. But let me turn it back up. Okay. So we just want to sear it. We're not cooking it. We're just searing it so that we get a lot of the flavor, and it sears. Then when you sear it, all the juices stay inside and cook in good. So I'll be back when it's time to flip that. Or wait, let me show you this first. And then I have this oregano. It's freeze-dried oregano. And you just add it into a little bit of water and it like rehydrates it. And I'm going to use that. And that works really good for me. Okay, so we'll be back when it's time to flip. Okay guys, so that's what you want it to look like, nice and seared. And I guess I shouldn't have put my garlic on when I'm searing it like this. But so we're gonna take it out and put it on another clean plate if I can get it out. It's a big roast. And just plop it over there. And then we're going to take some water that we're going to put in. Sorry guys. We get up a lot of the bits. And then what I do is I put everything in there, like the onions and some of the celery and stuff, and just let them get all nice and seared in there too. And some more water. Okay. So that looks a little like it's burnt, but it's just flavor. And then you can go ahead and put all the vegetables in there. We're going to add all the flour because that'll help with flavor. We're going to add these tomatoes, whole canned tomatoes, or you can use any tomatoes you want. And I like to add 2 cans, and I do the no salt. I don't know if I'm going to put 2 whole cans. Let's see. I love tomatoes, so lots of salt and pepper because you got to season the vegetables now. It's really cooking still. I have the burner still on. Look at how beautiful that looks. And I forgot to do my oregano. But I just put the oregano in the water and let it come back to life. Put that in there. Yum, yum. And I leave the tomatoes whole like that because they're going to break down because this is going to be in there for quite a long time. And let's put our potatoes in there. And that was three large red potatoes, about 4 carrots, 3 stalks of celery, a couple green onions, 1 white onion, 1 red onion, lots of garlic, and our spices. And that's about ready to go into the oven. So see all that flavor we picked up down there? Look at that. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 3 hours with the tin foil on. And then for the last hour, half hour, an hour, I take the tin foil off because I like, you know, the potatoes and carrots to make sure they get like roasted. And see that the flour helped make a little gravy. See all that gravy in there? The tomato juice, the water, and the gravy. You can add a little bit more water if you want. You could also use wine, which I forgot to get my wine, so hang on, guys. It seems like I'm always forgetting something in the video. So this is just a Chianti that I like to use when I'm cooking. About a half a cup to a cup. And you don't taste the wine, it just brings flavor. And then make sure you give that all a good mix. And turn the stove off. The burner for this. And look at that color. So I think you can imagine how good this is going to take. I'm not great at doing these videos, but I promise you my food tastes good. So what I'm going to do is kind of just make like a big bed in there. for Mr. Roast to go back in there. Alright. And let's bring him up here. The star of the show. But without all the players around there, he's not going to taste good. So now I'm going to try to get some of the liquid up on top and some of the goodies, you know, get them all in there mixed good. And I'll probably do that off camera. I'm going to get a bigger spoon like this, show you guys, and just get down there and get all the goodies out of there and put them, you know, on top. And then we're going to cover with tin foil. Excuse my arm. And just put them in the oven, 350. And we're going to let it cook for about 3 to 4 hours. And I'll be back in about 3 hours to show you where we're at. And I hope you guys are enjoying this because, oh my God, it smells so good. And wait till it's finished. And I guarantee you guys are going to try this recipe. Okay, guys. This is after 2 hours. I tasted it after an hour. I tasted one of the tomatoes. Oh my gosh, it tasted so good. And I'm taking the tin foil off now. I'm going to leave it in for another hour. The roast is still, what do you call it, tough. So we got another hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe longer. Sometimes it just depends. But you can push on it and see that it's still like hard as a rock. But it's looking good. Oh my God, the whole house smells amazing. And I just stirred it a little because it's making that nice gravy in there. And if you want, you can make a gravy with this, but I usually don't. I just like mine the way it is. And those tomatoes, oh my gosh, those are the best part, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll be back when it's all finished. Stay tuned, guys. And if you haven't already ran out to the store and bought all the stuff to make this, which it isn't much, you probably have most of it in your pantry except the roast and yeah, everything else you might already have in the pantry. So see you when it's all finished. Bye, guys. Okay, guys, it's been 3.5 hours. It's all done. It's all nice and tender. And I did get a lot of juice left to make gravy if you wanted to make gravy. And there's still plenty in there as well. I threw some spinach and some green beans in there too. You don't have to do that, but I had a little bit of spinach left and didn't have nothing to use it for. So rather than let it go to waste, I put it in here. And so I definitely want you guys to give this one a try. Stay tuned. I'm going to make a nice roast beef sandwich tomorrow. Oh my God, it's so good. But this is going to be so good tonight. So I hope you guys give this a try. Show me some love and be blessed. And thanks for watching.